Have a few minutes? You won't believe what you can do with it. Open a Regions checking account online in as little as 5 minutes. Then enjoy award-winning service and banking tools and tech that help you live in the moment. Learn more at regions.com/live-in-the-moment. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio. Gwinnett Business Radio is presented by Regions Bank. Brave the beginning. Member FDIC.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to Gwinnett Business Radio. Mike Salmon with you from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio. Harper LaBelle is actually going to be joining me later in the program as well and kind of co-host the show, but he's producing right now, so we got him doing double duty. And wouldn't you know it, Harper, I mean, my phone doesn't ring all day long, and as soon as we go on the air, I'm getting all these phone calls right now. That's just how it works. So, folks, if you have a phone and you never get any phone calls, we urge you to get your own podcast, and once you start podcasting, you'll see that your phone will ring off the hook. Do phones ring off the hook anymore that we have smartphones? I don't know if that works anymore, if the young generation even knows what that is. Stephen Julian is off today, and so we'll see him back here again next Thursday. But thank you for joining us. We've got two great guests. Jeff Ordner is with us with Ordner Construction Company, and Sean Spurlock is with us with Two Cities Pizza. But before we get to them, I want to let you know about love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Bring big savings, enjoy big savings, and a hassle-free experience at Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join their family today, or come on in and see the difference. If you're already a Subaruist, then check out their Facebook page for the latest news, offers, and community events. Our first guest is Jeff Ordner. He is the president of Ordner Construction Company. Jeff, good morning. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you having me.
You're here because you guys are sponsoring a big 5K race that we're going to talk about in a minute. But before we go there, tell me about Ordner Construction Company and what you guys do.
Yeah, love to. So we're a 35-year-old commercial construction company. We're based here in Duluth, been in Gwinnett our entire time. I'm second-generation leader. My father started the company in 87 with a $2,500 loan. We've grown into a regional construction company. We're licensed in 30 states and Puerto Rico. We build big box industrial. We build retail, grocery stores. We just finished a Lidl off Memorial Drive in Atlanta. We do office buildings and medical office buildings. Okay, and I was going to ask you kind of where you are building. Are you just in the Atlanta area, or are you all over the place? Yeah, we travel a lot. So Home Depot is a big client of ours. We're doing 2 projects for them in Texas right now. We have projects in Virginia all the way down to Puerto Rico. And so we have a pretty big presence down there as well. So if there's a big box store coming somewhere, it could be Ordner Construction Company that's doing that. That's right. That's we hope. That's very good. And your dad started with $2,500 and starts a construction company. How did that happen? What got him into the construction business? So my grandfather was a welder, and so I think it's probably the only thing that we're good at. But so he got into it from a young age, working for a large general contractor. Did that for a number of years, and then at a point decided, hey, there's an opportunity here to start a firm in Duluth. We've been in different parts of Duluth our entire history, but from there started doing small interior projects. From there grew into some larger shell buildings. Okay, the reason we have you here this morning, and we're so glad to have you here, is you've got a 5K race coming up that's for a great cause. It's November 12th, 2022. So any of our listeners that are listening to this podcast after November 12th, 2022, pay attention because there's going to be one in 2023. So we'll tell you, where to find information for that. But tell us what's going on that day and tell us all about the race. So our 5K we do yearly, and so this is our 11th year doing the race. It really started with just benefiting Family Promise, which is based here in Gwinnett. Carol Love runs the organization. She's fantastic. It also goes to benefit now Rainbow Village and Gwinnett Fire and Gwinnett Police. And so we've kind of built over the years, done it in different parks. We're actually doing it at our office at 1600 Executive Drive South, Duluth, Georgia. So the race is going to start and finish there? That's right. And so we actually, Gwinnett Police come and shut part of Breckenridge down, which I'm sure is a pain at some point. But and so we run 3 loops around our business park. And it's just a ton of fun. We have food trucks. We have jumpy houses for the kids that are coming. And it's really grown from something very small to something that we usually have a couple hundred runners. Also, I think it is worth mentioning that it is a Peachtree qualifier race. And so we have the exact measurements and all that. And so you perform well in that, you get ranked higher in the Peachtree Road race, which I think is added benefit.
Okay, well, that's important. And you said you're expecting, what, a couple hundred runners?
We do. Yeah, I mean, really, in our minds, the most important thing is the total donation amount that we can raise. Really, that's done through ourselves and our subcontractors that we work with. I think we've raised, roughly $250,000 over the course of the 10 years so far. And so that's really due to just great trade partners and folks that we do business with.
What is the cost for those that would like to participate?
So this year it is $25 to sign up. We really just want to cover T-shirt costs and everything, but we want as many folks as possible to come out and run and just really enjoy that. I think it's going to be a great time of year. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, it won't be too hot. I mean, November's a great time.
Yeah.
And $25, that's actually a lot less expensive than most 5K races that I've been a part of. The course, is it a flat course? And a lot of people like just to walk the 5K. I mean, that's okay, right?
That's absolutely okay. Love to have anybody, ability level doesn't matter. We'd love to have you out there. It's not the flattest course. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But it's not too bad either.
Have you run it before?
I have. So I ran it. Last year was the first year that we closed off our business park and did it there. And it wasn't fast, but I did complete it.
Your time's probably pretty good. Did you walk any, or did you run the whole thing?
I ran the whole thing.
If you ran the whole thing, then you probably did it in about 25 minutes, I'm going to guess, if you're saying you're not that fast.
I felt like my other team members would give me hell if I didn't run the whole thing. So I don't know if I'm supposed to go.
No, that's fine. You were under too much pressure then.
That's right.
I guess that's what kind of pressure I need, so I wouldn't start walking it all of a sudden. So for a great cause, November 12th, 2022, obviously it'll be early in the morning,
yes,
as most races are. Where can people register?
There's a number of different places. So we have a QR code that we have on here. If you go to Family Promise of Gwinnett's website, you can register there. And we're going to have a link on our website, www.ordner.com as well.
Okay, and Ordner is ORDNER.com. So Ordner.com or the Family Promise of Gwinnett County website. Either of those places you can register for the 5K race. So that's wonderful. Ordner is obviously the presenting sponsor of this 5K. Why? Why is it important for your company to do something like this?
So, something that was really important. So I've been president for 3 years now, and something that was really important that not just myself, but our whole leadership group, was that we had a bigger focus on giving back to the community. It's something we've been really fortunate. Gwinnett has been really fertile ground for us, and we felt that we have an opportunity to give back, especially to fire station number 5 is right next to our office. We actually had a situation where somebody had passed out recently in our office. They were there in a few moments. We just walked across the street, talked to them. They're a fantastic group of guys. And so we feel like it's our responsibility as a company that has seen some success in Gwinnett to use some of that leverage that we have to better the lives of these individuals. And I think it's worth mentioning Rainbow Village and Family Promise both help move destabilized families, people that have fallen on hard times, especially mothers and children, into a more secure living environment. And so that's one of the reasons we know those organizations well.
Yeah.
We know the money that we give to them is really well spent.
Yeah, Rainbow Village is well known in the area, and they do a wonderful job. We're talking with Jeff Ordner. He's the president of Ordner Construction Company, and we're learning out all about his business and also the 5K coming up this November 12th here in Gwinnett County. You've been president, you said, for 3 years now. Been in the business, obviously, a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
With your whole family, you said second generation?
That's right.
Did you have a choice in the matter? I know a lot of people that are in their family business, they actually will leave, go do something else, and they eventually come back. Did you ever do that, or have you been pretty much into construction from day one?
Yeah, it's a great question. So right out of school, I graduated in 2009 from college out in Texas, and there weren't any jobs. It was just a bad time to get out of school. And so actually I had 2 majors. I had business and I had a major in lower school education. And so I got a job as a teacher actually just out of school. I taught 4th grade in Dallas public schools for a year. which was a wild experience. I learned a lot of new things. But no, it was fortunate. I got to do public speaking every day, and I got to interact with these amazing kids for a year. After that, I went and worked for another general contractor in Dallas, Texas for 2.5 years and ran a bunch of different positions there. Got my feet wet in the industry to kind of figure out if is this what I want to do with the rest of my life. And so I did. I taught one more time. I moved. This is probably too long. More information you want? But I moved. I moved overseas and I taught in India one more time for about 8 months.
Really? How long were you? For 8 months, you were in India.
Yeah, and so I had an opportunity.
Were you teaching English, or what were you teaching there?
So my sister's mother-in-law started an organization there called Rising Star, and there's a school attached to an orphanage there. And she knew I had a teaching degree, asked if I wanted to go work there for the summer, and I said, yeah, that sounds like a great opportunity. And so I taught English there for a period of time, and now I've been back with Ordner Construction for just about 12 years.
Did you pick up any of the language while you were over there?
The local language was Tamil, but luckily English is spoken pretty widely throughout the country, and so luckily I didn't have to. I'm not great with languages, so I feel fortunate that English was fine.
So when you came back and you came into your family's business, did you start at the bottom and kind of do every single job there was? That's usually the way it works.
Yeah, exactly. So. I came in as a project engineer, which is our entry-level position as far as learning underneath project management. So I spent a few years there, spent a few years in project management, business development, accounting, which wasn't my favorite place. That's not what I'm best at. But it was a great experience. I'm fortunate to have excellent mentors, and I think in any business that's what you need to be successful.
Super. Jeff Ordner again with Ordner Construction Company. Let's give another final shout out for the 5K. Give all the information again, where it's going to be, when it's going to be, and how people can get involved.
Absolutely. So it's November 12th. It's at our office, which is 1600 Executive Drive South, Duluth, Georgia. And I think there's a number of ways you can sign up on our website, Ordner.com. You can go to Family Promise's website, and we would absolutely love to have any runners in the Gwinnett area. I think the people who have done it previously would tell you that it's a ton of fun.
Get the T-shirt. You get probably a gift bag or something.
Yeah, get a T-shirt. Top finishers get medals. There'll be food trucks out there. There'll be music playing, and it's a great time. For a fantastic cause.
You had me at food trucks. Excellent. Great. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for all you're doing in the community and the way you're giving back. Congratulations with all your success at Ordner Construction. I do have one last question, actually. Now that you are president, what are your plans for the future? Expansion plans? What does Jeff want to do with the company? Where do you want to take it?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. I would say, we want to continue to get better at what we do. We're refining our processes every day. Not only that, do we want to become more efficient with the team members that we have. We have a new director that's based in Tampa. About to make our second hire down there and rent some office space there. We have 2 team members in Greenville, South Carolina, and so we're growing that region. And we actually have 1 member in Salt Lake City, but that's more so based off a talented team member moving out there. So we think that there's an opportunity. We're already working kind of Texas East. We think there's an opportunity to expand our area as well. Okay.
I've got a daughter in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Just moved out there. Great place.
It is a great place.
Okay. Well, if anybody, and you're always looking for good people.
Absolutely.
So if anybody wants to know about Ordner Construction Company, the website again is ordner.com. Not only will you find out everything about the company, but again, there'll be a link there for the 5K race. So a great cause. Again, thank you for coming by this morning. Great to meet you.
Mike, thank you so much. We really enjoyed it.
Jeff Ordner with Ordner Construction Company. Before we go on to talk to Sean with Two Cities Pizza, want to let you know about Regions Bank, one of our big partners here at Business RadioX. With the right support and strategic solutions, your financial planning can meet tomorrow's challenges today. Regions' local team of experienced private wealth advisors are right here in Gwinnett to serve you in all areas of growth. Make sure every step you take can move you closer to your goals. Learn more at regions.com/wealth-management. Regions Bank, member FDIC. All right. Sean Spurlock is the co-founder of Two Cities Pizza. They have a couple locations that he'll tell us all about. And we're going to have a little fun today. We're going to have Harper move out of the producer's seat and move into the co-host seat and continue the interview with Sean. But, Sean, let me get you starting to talk here about Two Cities Pizza. Tell us all about your restaurant and where you're located and what people can expect.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely.
Excited to be in studio. This is a fun experience.
Good.
Fun to get out of the kitchen and the dining room a little bit.
Tell your friends. But next time, bring pizza. If you come back, you got to bring pizza.
All right. We got to get the ovens hot first. But
yeah,
we'll start earlier.
We will do an afternoon show just specifically for you so we can get some pizza.
Would you want me to do New York style, Chicago style, or both?
Yes to all, right? Yes.
Yes to all. Yes to
awesome.
all. Yeah.
So Two Cities Pizza, it's a very simple concept. It's the two American cities that have famous pizza. So New York style thin crust and authentic Chicago deep dish.
Who else is doing that?
No one.
That's your niche, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I think it's fantastic that you would put both under one roof.
Absolutely.
And probably the ability, hey, well, I also know a little bit more about something. But for right now, that's your niche. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So it's fun for the customer to come in and the server to explain to them what those styles are if they've never had it before.
Right.
And most people have had New York style, but a lot of people have not had genuine Chicago deep dish. And so that's a joy for us to be able to bring that product alongside such a staple like New York thin crust. And it's an experience for people because you can just go out and you can have Sean's Pizza. You can have Bob's Pizza, Bob's Burgers. But to have New York style thin crust with Chicago deep dish, with beers from both cities, with products that we've sourced from both of those cities, it can be very fun. And then the concept is award winning as well. So the pizza has won many awards, but just the theme of the restaurant has been award winning as well. In 2021, Cintas Corporation has a Best Bathroom in America competition. And we actually won that competition. So we can say for this whole year, we have the best bathrooms in America. So if you haven't been in Gwinnett, we're at in Suwanee. We love the community in Suwanee. And we've got the best bathrooms in America, award-winning styles of pizza. So we're excited to host.
Hold everything, and then when you get to Two Cities, you get to go to the bathroom there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, do you have some people that say, no, I'm Chicago only, I won't even try New York, even though they're at the restaurant? Have you had any of that yet with certain, I won't call them pizza snobs, but I think there might be some of those, right? Tell me what it's like.
We call them aficionados.
Okay, I have probably the wrong term for them.
Diehards.
Okay. Yeah.
There are those people that are sold out. They're like, I only have Chicago because New York pizza's cardboard. And then we have people that are like, I only have New York because Chicago pizza's a pie. It's actually not pizza.
Right.
So there's this great healthy debate that people come in and they interact with the concept, which makes it even more fun. But 95% of people come in and they say, you know what, I want to order one of each because I want to decide for myself whether I prefer New York or Chicago. And that's honestly how the concept originated. Myself and my business partner, I have ties to New York. He has ties to Chicago. We're arguing over which style was better. We said, let's go to a restaurant that serves both and let's settle the debate. And there weren't any that did both. No. So we said, this concept deserves to be in the world. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, you're very interesting. Now, you're from Cincinnati originally. Sir. When did you move to New York, and how did the inspiration for your side, the New York side of it, where did all of that take place?
Yeah, so Zach Greaves is my business partner. He is the best business partner you could ask for. Right? If you're going to go into business and you're going to have a business partner, make sure that you trust the character and the values of that person. It's instrumental. We wouldn't be a company still if we didn't have the solidity of our business partnership. So that's first and foremost critical to maintain that solidity. But moving to New York, I moved to New York because small town guy, Cincinnati, was really intrigued by the opportunities and the networking and the endless possibilities of a big city. Sure. Chicago has that too. Atlanta has that as well. So,
did you know Zach when you moved to New York?
I did.
Or was it after? Okay.
Yep. So we have been best friends since the 4th grade.
Okay.
And we have dreamt up businesses since that time. So my dad was a small business owner. His grandfather was an inventor. We worked in his like sales department. We were in high school. So we were always around people, like you mentioned with mentors. Mentors have been critical. Again, we would not be where we're at if it weren't for the guiding path of people in our lives. So New York, went there, scraped by. I've worked in restaurants since I was 14 years old, started in dish, went to making food, went to management, went to being a GM, and got to see the insides and outs of what exactly it's not just the prestige of running a restaurant. It's tough, but it's a joy.
I worked at a restaurant out in California. It's called Gladstone's. The year I was there, I was like security. I made sure that, people that had a little bit too much to drink didn't get out of hand, and there were some celebrities that came in every now and then, and occasionally fire code situation, but they made $14 million. That was their revenue in the year that I was there. Not that I had anything to do with it. They probably did $18 million the year after that, but they would get really upset if they didn't have an $80,000 Sunday. Mm-hmm. Upset, mad, the management, all that. And so I imagine you have certain aspects of your goals, different financial areas that you needed to hit, the amount of pizzas that you would have to sell, that you all bring into this because it is a business, but also doing it in a loose environment where people have a great time. That's not always easy to do, is it? To be able to say, hey, in the kitchen, everything's going crazy, but out there amongst the people, everything is as calm as can be. How do you manage that? How does that become a part of your daily operations to where you say, I've got this. It's not a problem. We get it taken care of. We'll take care of the problems before they even happen because I know X, Y, and Z about how we need to do this.
So that has been a learning curve, a harsh learning curve.
Okay.
We've had to be strategic and patient in growing. When we first opened our store in Cincinnati in 2015, we were like, we want to grow. And it was we got kind of smacked in the face by how to scale the business and how to train people and how to retain people and how to build up leadership and then how to reinvest in the business. So, we started out and our sales were more than we thought they were going to be. And that was really exciting and encouraging.
Whoopee, everybody, yeah, this is fantastic.
Absolutely. But then to sustain that week over week, month over month, year over year is a totally different equation. And so that's where the leadership comes in. We like to talk about Chick-fil-A where they're like, we're not a restaurant, we're a leadership company. And
interesting.
We're small, we're still small, but having the right people in the right seats, again, age-old business advice, but it's very, very difficult to get to that stage. So that's why we've been patient and strategic with our growth and why the second store came 6 years after the first one. But when you're trying to scale the business, you have to prove concept first. So like here in Suwanee, we just launched our delivery program and people were asking for it from day one, but we have about 250 seats in the building and we've got 2 bars and we have a carryout program.
We want you here. Come see us. Be a part of the ambiance. Yes.
Come. For us, we're not a Domino's and we don't want to be. We're more of an upscale experiential restaurant. If you want to go out, we have people all the time. They come in for birthdays, they come in for anniversaries, they come in for date night, and it's just a really experiential thing, but you're not going to go drop $200 because pizza is this really fun, affordable, communal food. Yeah. It's the most communal food where it's like, hey, dude, let's order a pizza and we're going to split it. Like we're actually breaking bread together. That's really fun. Yeah.
That's so here's what I wanted to ask. In Cincinnati in 2015, how do pizza sales go in July, which are different from in February? Mm-hmm. And you didn't know that in 2015, but by 2021, when you're ready to expand, I think we've got this down. We're gonna micromanage how we advertise, how many we're gonna sell, and then bringing that to Georgia, the experience there. Now you were in Cincinnati for all 6 of those years, right? Mm-hmm. And so is your partner in Cincinnati still?
So he's here in Georgia as well.
He's here too? Okay.
Yep. And
so who's watching the store in Cincinnati?
We go back often. We were just there this past weekend.
Is that where Dylan is? Dylan Dixon, is he in Cincinnati right now?
He travels
or is he somewhere else?
That man's everywhere.
He's all over the place.
I'm glad you know Dylan.
Yeah.
Wild man.
Yeah.
But for us, we have a great leadership team there. So 3 years ago, we decided that we wanted our next expansion to be the Atlanta market because it's a much bigger market than Cincinnati. We see a lot more growth here, and we want to grow here. We want to do more locations, and again, we want to be strategic and patient and make sure it's the right timing
But sales and debt and the cost and construction and making it exactly the way that you want, there are a lot of things that take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, you have to start selling pizzas.
And this is maybe not the most MBA savvy statement that I'm about to make, but in our experience, it's been the hospitality and the word of mouth that's drove sales. Not obviously we watch our profitability, we watch our cost of goods, we watch our prime costs. We do all of these things on the business side, but we invest our time in the community, in the networking, in being on the floor, talking to our guests. So the first year, I mean, Zach and I were in that restaurant 7 days a week, all day, really building a community of people. And the hardest thing was actually when we made the move to Atlanta. A lot of people were like, "Where are Sean and Zach?" And so that was a really good thing for us to learn, is to have our operators. So our operators are equivalent of a general manager, and it's their store, it's their community. So our operator in Ohio this past weekend, we had a heritage festival. There was a parade in front of our store, and we were out there selling pizza by the slice, but he's the one shaking hands, really investing into the community. But then people still, we saw probably 100 regulars who we have an actual relationship with. And for us, word of mouth and just actual service, real service, hospitality has been what has made our small business grow into now like a less small business.
Yeah. Well, growth allows you to get bigger and faster, stronger, and all those things. Aside from the idea itself, the concept of two different styles of pizza under one roof, is there any ingredient? I think the Papa John's thing, better ingredients. It made a difference to me from a marketing perspective. Hey, I'll listen to that. What is it unique about your recipe or about the mozzarella, or what is it that you do that you go, we hit the nail on the head right there with that one? Is there anything specific in the kitchen that you can talk about?
Absolutely. And we don't have the marketing budget that a Papa John's has where they can put out that better ingredients message. From day one, we pounded the pavement to make sure that we could have the most genuine, fantastic product possible. So many trips to New York, many trips to Chicago. When we opened, most of our product was coming from a distributor in Queens, and then we have still a distributor in Chicago.
But visiting different restaurants and saying, "Gosh, I love the way yours taste. What do you have that others don't?" Yeah. Right? And just
absolutely,
is it stealing? Just a little bit from this guy, just borrowing from him and taking from that guy, and just putting and blending it with just the right amount of, just a splash of salt here and a little bit of, and now you've got your own recipe, which is uniquely different from the others, right?
Yeah, you refine it over time.
Sure.
So when we opened, our product's much better than it used to be. But just an example of, pounding the pavement, people are so willing to share their expertise. So for example, before we opened, we went up to Chicago and we went to listen to Mark Malnati give a keynote speech. He's the son of Lou Malnati. So Lou Malnati's has 85 deep dish restaurants in Chicago.
The guy named Lou Malnati would have to have 85 different restaurants.
Like it's them and Giordano's. They are Chicago deep dish.
Okay.
So we go up there and we wait after the talk, and we go up and we meet him and we explain, hey, we're young, we're 21. We have this idea. We want to learn how to make Chicago deep dish. And that man said, come to my restaurant tomorrow. I'm going to meet you there. I'm going to walk you through the kitchen, and I'm going to explain how we make our product.
Wow.
So where we actually get the cheese for our deep dish, the whole milk mozzarella from a farm in Wisconsin, is the exact same cheese he uses, because he said, go down to Battaglia Distributors. They're on the south side.
Yep.
Talk to Brian Battaglia, and he's going to hook you up with this product, because if you can't just say, air quotes, we have Chicago pizza. You actually need to have Chicago pizza, otherwise you're a fraud. And so, and we had some people say, get out of here. Like in New York, it was much more closed door.
Forget about it. Get out of here. I'm sure
exactly. They did. So for us, even now, we have a fried ciabatta and meatballs appetizer. And so that bread, it comes from Tribeca Bakery in New York City. We have our New York and our Chicago pizza. Again, I've seen this happen at a lot of restaurants where they'll be like, we have a deep dish and we have a thin crust, but they're using the same dough, the same cheese, the same sauce. It's just a different molding of the dough. We make our dough fresh every day, and we make our own sauces in-house. So the New York dough is different from the Chicago dough. The Chicago dough is flaky and buttery. It's like this pie crust, and it's an amazingly tasty dough and it's not so thick. That's one of our one tweak on Chicago is that you don't feel like you got hit by a truck. It's still deep dish, but it's a really kind of light, flavorful artisanal dough. And then our New York dough has the high gluten flour. It's got the stretch. It's got the fold. And the sauces are different. The cheeses are actually different. And so every piece of those products we've tried to make as original and
authentic
true
as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean Spurlock from Two Cities Pizza. Sean, where would I find more about you online? And then tell us where you are from a location standpoint for those that are Pavlovian dogs right now, and they're rubbing the side of their mouth and, man, I'm really hungry.
Oh, absolutely. Well, so the best place to check out our brand is our website, just twocitiespizza.com. We are on Instagram and social media under that name, but the website's fantastic. You can order online on the website. We have delivery as well. But the best place to see us is on Lawrenceville, Swanee Road, right next to Taco Mac. We've got a rooftop bar. We have the famous Subway bathroom. We've got really comfortable booths throughout the entire restaurant, and we've got outdoor patio, a first floor and second floor patio. So it's just a fun place to be.
Well, award-winning food and restroom facilities. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your time, especially on short notice. You know what I mean. Thank you very much. And Jeff Ordner with Ordner Construction, thank you as well for being here with two great guests. Mike, thank you very much for letting me kind of sit in a little bit.
Of all the shows for Stephen to miss, because you know how Stephen loves food.
Yeah.
Of all shows, he'd be talking about Pavlov's dog. He'd be salivating right now.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to Sean as well, because my brother lives in Liberty Township, which is just outside Cincinnati. And I sent him a text this morning before the show began. He's listening, by the way. Told him before the show began, we got a guy here who has a pizza place in Mason, Ohio. And he goes, which place? Two Cities? And so it's like he knows.
Yeah.
He goes, it's the best place for pizza in I guess you're in northern Cincinnati?
Yep.
In northern Cincinnati. So my brother, I told him a pizza place, and he knew Two Cities.
Awesome place to go. And that's the neat thing about your growth is someone will go, hey, let's go to just someone visiting from out of town. The locals will know about it. Hey, let's go there for a pie. And next thing you know, that you're the place to go. You're the staple for Swanee. Look forward to your growth and your expansion and all that. And I can't say enough about what you're doing for the community. Really appreciate it. Jeff, for everything that you're doing and all the best with your construction. I know they're not making any more land, so how we develop it is going to be really important, and you have a hand in that. So thank you again for being a guest.
Thank you so much.
Mike, appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. What do you got planned? Yep. You got all kinds of things today.
I'm thinking about going to get some pizza this afternoon. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll actually see Sean later today. There's a Gwinnett Chamber Business After Hours networking event going on at a brewery in Lawrenceville, so we'll both be attending that. So, again, a big thank you to Jeff and to Sean and Harper. Thank you as well. And we appreciate all our listeners. We'll see you next time here on Gwinnett Business Radio.